So I was lucky enough to go to NAB this year with Jared Hill. I will link his channels in the description below, but he was kind enough to invite me out to NAB. I stayed with him and also stayed with Pierre Lambert, but Jared sent the whole thing up, so thank you, man, so much for inviting me. I had a blast. So anyway, it was a blast for me. I was able to meet a ton of the brands that I've been working with for a very long time. Also meet so many people that I pretty much talk to on a daily basis on the internet. But anyways, I had a blast, just met a ton of people, had some great experiences, great conversations, and the networking was fantastic. So if you ever get a chance to head out to a convention like that and you're a YouTuber, I would highly encourage it. Just bite the bullet, do it, take a couple days off from whatever it is that you were gonna do. You'll have a fantastic experience. Seeing as it was my first time at NAB, I didn't really have any videos in mind that I wanted to make from it. I just kind of wanted to soak it up. So the first day we walked around, checked out all the cool tech. I definitely went by some specific booths, but I was also really interested and surprised by certain booths as well. So that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about today. So Aputure originally made lighting and actually audio solutions as well. And in the last year or so, that company, Deity, has split off. They're the same company technically, but they're all doing separate things now within the umbrella of the same company. So they're like sister companies, Aputure and Deity, and their booths actually were back to back since they're kind of the same company, but just doing different things. One's focusing on lighting and one's specifically focusing on audio. But I had seen a while back that Deity was going to release like a wireless transmitter solution. I've always used the Rode Link, the Filmmaker kit. I'm using it right now, and I really like it. It's really nice. But if I want two microphones connected into one receiver, I kind of have to jimmy rig a solution for that. So Deity is set to release the Connect. The Connect is a dual transmitter, single receiver, 2.4 gigahertz wireless solution that you can actually control from the receiver. And that's what I think I'm most excited about. I know it's gonna be great quality. I love their D3 Pro. All their mics are amazing. And I'm really excited to switch out the Rode Filmmaker kits for the Deity Connect system and just have a smaller, more compact system to be able to monitor the audio in camera behind it through my headphones and listen to both transmitters and make adjustments accordingly will be really cool for like interview style situations. I will change the price if I'm wrong, but I think it's only gonna come in at $600 or $700 if I remember correctly, and that's really great. Two of the wireless Filmmaker kits from Rode would come in at $800, so it's a lower cost solution, and I think you're gonna get actually a lot more out of it. So I'm really curious to see how that sounds. I should probably have a unit within the next couple months, and I will definitely let you guys know how that goes. So the second thing that I'm really, really excited to get my hands on is a brand new slider from iFootage. I love their monopod system. Check out the YouTube video here or here. I'm not quite sure which finger it is quite yet. Anyways, iFootage gear, here's a little mini monopod, is a really cool company that makes high quality accessories, especially for video. And they're releasing what they're calling the Shark Slider Nano. Now, it's about a foot long, maybe a little bit longer slider that's bi-directional and can pan as well. Now, it's supposed to be super quiet and super, super smooth. And it actually, unlike many of the smart sliders out there today, doesn't require you to use an app on your phone. It actually has an IPS touchscreen display that essentially does everything that the app would do right on the side of the slider. So I fully expect it to be able to hold like a Sony Alpha A7 III, A7R III, and hopefully the upcoming A7S III. But it looks like a really cool solution. I really want to use it for my podcast that's coming up. And you know, it does everything that a really good slider can do. Keyframing, it says it has gesture learning as well. I'm really curious to see what that is, and obviously the bounce back and forth. But anyways, $500 for that slider seems like a really good price. A lot of these motorized sliders are up there. They're $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So it's also compact, and it felt really solid in the hands as well. Not like it was made from some terrible materials. really excited about that iFootage Shark Slider Nano. Now, the third thing that I really liked, and you may not seem really exciting to you, was from a company called Nanlite. Now, Nanguang is a company that I did a review for a while back. They made their RGB PAV lights, the tubes, and they're really, really nice. Nanlite is kind of an offshoot company from Nanguang. Now, the Compact 200B is a bicolor 3200 to 5600, so it's not RGB at all, but it is a large, very slim LED light that was very, very bright, bicolor, and was really, really small. So I'm really interested to see if I can get my hands on that as well. It's gonna come out to about $730 per light, but it's extremely slim. So if you're in a very small room, you can possibly put it like up against a wall and still have a lot of room to work, or hang it from the ceiling, do whatever you need to do. But I'm really curious to see just how well that Compact 200B performs, especially from this brand new company. All right, so my next favorite thing, and maybe my absolute favorite that I saw at NAB, is really, really dangerous, guys. This is from a company called Kinefinity. Now, Kinefinity is a Chinese cinema camera manufacturer. I've never been someone who's been like interested in reds. They've always been crazy out of my price range. It's never actually been a possibility, and it still isn't a possibility. They're just too expensive. I'm never gonna use one, never gonna buy one. But Kinefinity makes these cinema cameras. They're based out of China. They must have their manufacturing down, and so they have 3 cameras now. They have the Terra, which is the Micro Four Thirds, the Mavo, which is the Super 35, and the Mavo LF, their large frame, full frame cinema camera. And these things have crazy specs. They have dual native ISOs, they have really high frame rates. I'm gonna look down here at the spec sheet, but the Mavo LF will shoot 6K at 75 frames per second, 4K at 100 frames per second. I think that's actually going to be increased to 160, at least on the Terra 4K. So essentially 4K at 160 frames per second, and then it just goes up from there as you lower the resolution. But the Mavo, the Super 35 one, also does 6K, 4K at high frame rates, and these cameras were very small and compact. Pretty much the heaviest portion of the camera was that cinema lens out in front. I really liked these cameras paired with the Sigma Cinema line lenses. But so the spec'd out full frame Mavo LF is really only going to run you about $20,000. That's with everything included, and even less than that. That's minus the lens. But these lenses have an interchangeable lens mount. They make adapters with ND filters. So these cameras basically do everything that RED cameras do. And the footage that I saw looked absolutely fantastic. So I'm really interested by these cameras. I'm hoping maybe I can do something with Kinefinity in the future. Man, I'm so tempted by these cameras. They make me really excited. I want to shoot more high production value stuff in the upcoming couple years, especially here at my gym, make some really cool commercial content. But these cameras just might be my first foray into the cinema world. So fifth, and definitely my favorite experience of NAB, was the Aputure Secret Dinner. So every year Aputure has this dinner where they announce their new products, get a bunch of creators together, and it was really, really cool to be included in that community. It really meant a lot to me. Thank you guys over at Aputure. You guys have been amazing. One of my favorite brands ever. I was buying Aputure products when they were a baby company, and they are just doing amazing things. So they had a couple products at that dinner that they unveiled that were at the show the next morning. That was the morning I left. Anyways, I got to see them on the very first night. The first, and probably my favorite out of all their new products, was this RGB bulb that they had. Now this is a bulb that could, obviously it's RGB, you can control the full color spectrum there. And it's wireless, has a built-in battery. You can control it with your phone. You can group all these bulbs together. You can create certain scenes, but you can also charge it in like a regular light socket. So you screw it in and it just charges. So if you're in a room and you want to create like a specific environment that you've set up, just screw in a bunch of these bulbs, hit the scene that you want, and it's perfect. So I'm actually interested in more of like a household solution with these bulbs, like in certain lamps, in my podcasting basement that I'm gonna have in a few months, to create certain scenes, maybe for even like certain types of podcasts. So one podcast is really moody dark lighting with like reds and blues or something like that, and another one's really bright, just has a different vibe to it. But you should be able to set all those up within the app in your phone, and that is really, really cool and really innovative. And I think the price is only gonna be something like 49 or 59 bucks per bulb. So when you consider that, that's really not that much compared to all the other RGB bulbs that are out on the market. And I think they're gonna have like ones where they sell like a dozen at a time for a discounted price. So I will definitely be picking up some of those. So the second thing from Aputure that I really liked was another small light, and that was the Aputure MC. Now this is a credit card sized light that was extremely bright. These lights talk to each other and they can link together and make sure they're all working as a cohesive unit. But these lights are only going to be something like $69 or $79. They come with an optional charging case where you can actually wirelessly charge 12 of the lights. So you like open up this little Pelican case, throw them in there, they kind of snap into their little spot and they wirelessly charge. So it could be really cool for you to have, 12 of these lights and use them for various purposes. They're super bright. Aputure has come a long way since like the little M9 in terms of like their longevity, how long and how bright they can be on just one charge. So I'm really excited to get my hands on those lights as well. They're full RGB and should be pretty cool. They also described the ability to take all of their old existing Aputure lights, and for $100 you could essentially have wireless control, not using the remote that you would typically use, which still is really cool and I absolutely love it, but you'd be able to control all your lights in this little network from your phone. So they say that this technology is very new and they are implementing it, and I'm super excited to be able to create just scenes and sets. And as the channel grows, I want to have, my podcast set and this set and have all the lights app controllable, be able to like save the presets in there. For people that do interviews or in a specific type of environment, if you'd be able to like save modes with these lights, I think that would be super cool. And I'm really excited to have all those items hit the market for me to be able to check them out and show them to you guys as well. But once again, the best part of NAB was definitely not the products, it was definitely meeting all of the people. From the YouTube creators to content creators who do blogs to all the brands that I have seen and used for so many years. That was definitely the best part. Getting to go to events and dinners and hit the strip and take pictures, that was all awesome and by far the best part of NAB. And I definitely think I'm gonna be going next year. I was also really surprised that a couple people actually recognized me. I know my channel isn't that big and it's definitely not a prideful thing at all, but it was really cool to have a couple people yell out Brotographer. So thanks for doing that, guys. It was really fun. I had a great time and I'll definitely be going there next year as well. Anyways, those are my 5 favorite things that I saw at NAB this year. It was a blast. All right, guys, until the next one, peace.